hole for American workers. Biden voted to ship our jobs overseas. He raised our taxes and imposed costly regulations on small businesses. Now, Biden wants a $4 trillion tax increase, a government takeover of healthcare, and a Green New Deal that would bury our economy. It's time for Joe Biden to stop digging. Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome to the Patriot Angle Podcast, a show about America's truth, unhinged, unfiltered, raw. Your host, Mike Gardner.
The Electoral College does elect President-elect Joe Biden. Are you not going to leave this building?
Just so you... certainly I will. Certainly I will. And you know that. It was a rigged election.
But, sir, just to be clear, if the Electoral College votes for Joe Biden, will you concede?
Well, if they do, they made a mistake. Because this election was a fraud. Just so you understand, this election was a fraud. I mean, they have Biden beating Obama on Obama's vote in areas that mattered in terms of the election, in swing states. And yet he's losing to Obama all over the place. But he's beating Obama in swing states, which are the states that mattered for purposes of the election. So, no, I can't say that at all. I think it's a possibility. They're trying to, look, between you people, don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me that way. I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way. All right, I'm going to go with another question. Go ahead. This is not a candidate that could get 80 million votes. This is just not a candidate. This is not a candidate that beat Barack Hussein Obama with the black voter. Okay? This is not a candidate that beat Obama with the black voter. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Welcome to another edition to the Patriot Angle Podcast. I'm your host, Mike. On to today's show, that's the president basically fighting and literally not stopping this historic fight in the 2020 election for presidency. Boy, did you notice? I know you couldn't hear the reporters because, they were in, part of the White House where background noise is basically subjected a little bit. I think they did that on purpose, But anyway, basically reporters literally slamming and criticizing the president for not conceding yet and congratulating Joe Biden. Folks, why would he? Why would you have a president such as Donald Trump, or any other president for that matter, congratulate a candidate that won the election? Folks, the election is not over. If anybody doesn't realize that, the election is not over. The media might have projected Biden as the winner, but it's not over, folks. It's not over. Biden hasn't become president yet of this country because what we are now experiencing is recounts of votes in many states. Many states. Okay? When you go into a scenario such as that and you have enough evidence to bring it up to Supreme Court status, okay, the election is not over. The media might have said, Biden won Pennsylvania, Biden won Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, all these other states. But have you looked at the votes? Have you looked at the votes? There is no way in hell that Biden won the majority for the black community votes of well over the margin that it said he won in. It's unprecedented that he won. You're trying to tell me that Biden won the popular vote in the black community over Barack Obama? There's no way in hell, folks, that Biden that Biden won this. There's no way in hell that he won it. It's unheard of. It's unheard of that they're saying that Biden won the majority of the black votes over Trump a few weeks ago here in November. Oh, Biden won, but Biden won the popular vote, and they're now thinking that not only did he won the popular vote, he actually won the Electoral College, because that's what it boils down to, folks. See, you could still win the popular vote, okay? But the popular vote doesn't matter. The only thing that matters to win a successful presidential election is the Electoral College, okay? Because we've seen that in 2016. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote over Trump in 2016. Yeah, she did. But did she win the Electoral College? No. No, she did not. And I'll put my hat down on this any day of the week and say that Joe Biden didn't win the Electoral College vote, and he sure as hell didn't win the popular vote. There's no way in hell that he won both of those votes. They say, oh, he won the black vote, he won the Hispanic vote, he won the Asian vote, he won the white Caucasian vote. He didn't win all this. He didn't win all this. But see, now you have everything that's going on, and there's even certain things. Oh, God, did you see in the Drudge Report? Oh, boy. The Drudge Report came out the other day. Oh, there's some interesting articles on the Drudge Report about this election. That I just played a sound clip here, opening up the show on my opening statement here on how reporters are criticizing Trump over this election. They still are. The phrase President Trump has vanished. They're not even calling him President Trump anymore. They're just saying sir, like he doesn't even matter anymore. And now they're referring as Biden as president-elect, yet almost as current president. But folks, he's not president until the Supreme Court, okay, rules out the court hearings on this election, okay? The new president, whether it's Biden or Trump, doesn't get sworn into office until January 20th of 2021. So, folks, whether you like it or not, your president is still current President Donald J. Trump until January 20th of 2021. So we still have, folks, well over almost 2 months of President Trump, okay? And there's a lot of people that won't admit that. They will not admit that. They will not admit that their president is Trump right now, because that's the radical left. The radical left, the politicians, and far left corrupt media. And we all know that. This coming, oh boy, Drudge Report. The Drudge Report. The Drudge Report used to be so positive. Now I think they're more leaning towards the left, in my own personal opinion. This is coming out of the Drudge Report, and if you open the Drudge Report, the headliner says Trump rage at hashtag diaper as days dwindle, even desk is shrinking. And then I have a picture of Donald Trump at a very, very small little desk with the presidential seal and, when he was basically questioning and interviewing with reporters there. I want to read this article here because this is getting too much. They're calling it and labeled Diapergate. Donald Trump blasts Twitter for making up false trends after hashtag DiaperDon mocking president goes viral. Did anybody read that article? I'll read it here if anybody hasn't read that article, because this is going too far. This whole year has been bonkers, literally bonkers. Donald Trump blasted Twitter for making up fake trends after mocking hashtag #DiaperDon went viral. Yeah. These are independent journalists and regular media journalists, folks, that are literally mocking Donald Trump, calling it hashtag #DiaperDon. It went viral this past week, and I'll read the article. The hashtag quickly became to trend as it was spread by Glearfilly Dems who joked a photo of the president made it appear he was wearing adult diapers. Folks, this is a disaster of an embarrassment here to our country, as what the media has been doing to this president since he's taken office in the year 2016. For the last almost 4 years, folks, we have seen this president been attacked on every angle, and I will go down on this show, okay, November 27th as the president, and let me rephrase that. So if anybody wants to go back to this podcast, okay, in years to come, November 27th of 2020, I, Mike, from the Patriot Angle, will declare this president to be the most president that's been attacked by any stream of media, whether it's social media, mainstream media, independent journalists, or even far-left radical politicians in history. Folks, this president has been not only fighting for himself, okay, but also been fighting for the American way of life, the American people, the American civilization, the American culture, American borders, crime, everything. Been fighting for, okay, to try to make this country flourish once again. Folks, we are living in a third world hellhole, okay? And it's gotten far worse since this pandemic has hit our shores earlier this year. We are seeing lockdowns. We are seeing dictatorship of certain politicians from the Northeast, certain areas here in the South, where I live here in the state of Georgia. We are seeing lockdowns and modern-day dictatorship from states even in California. Folks, this country is transforming into a socialist regime, and it's only going to get worse if we allow this new form of a Democratic Party, a radical, democratic, socialist, communist party to take over. More in the article. As trolls claimed Trump looked like he was wearing adult diapers. And then Trump sent out a Twitter after the claim was basically reported by the Associated Press. Trump saying, Twitter is sending out total false let me say that again. I need some water before I mean, this is what we're only, 8 minutes into the show here. And I'm heated just as you, the listener out there. I'm sure you guys are heated as much as I am. Okay. Twitter, just got a glass of water here. Twitter, basically, Trump going to Twitter here, basically earlier today, that Twitter is sending out totally false trends that have absolutely nothing to do with what is really trending in the world. They make it up, and only negative stuff. Same thing will happen to Twitter as it's happening to Fox News daytime. Also, big conservative discrimination. And it goes on, the president accused the social media site of discriminating against conservatives. As the picture took over Twitter, Trump blasted social media for making false trends, discriminating against conservatives, and making up negative stuff. It comes as he continues to take on social media companies as he accuses them of censoring claims that the 2020 election was rigged against him. Pro-Biden political website medias tweeted the oddly proportionate image with Trump's trousers bunched up at the back. The unfortunate photo supposedly made President Trump look like he was wearing adult diapers. The tweet included the hashtag, like I mentioned before, folks, hashtag DiaperDon, which then skyrocketed to become the #1 trend in the U.S. The hashtag quickly spread with vocal Trump critics rushing to tweet it and to share mocking memes of the president. Others tweeted about the smaller version of the White House famous Rosalind desk, which had been wheeled out for the press conference. Meanwhile, the president tweeted, "Twitter is sending out false trends." Folks, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. The president has a right to tweet, just like any other average modern day American in this country. Okay? Just because he's the president of the United States, he has to follow protocol and become what they called, and what Trump has basically brought more into a modern day image and also message, politically incorrect. Folks, this president is not politically incorrect. He's not politically correct. He's not none of those things. The president speaks his mind. He doesn't read off of a script. He doesn't read off of a teleprompter. The president, whether you like him or not, he will say things whether you agree or disagree. Okay? Just because the radical left supposedly, and I'll say this, supposedly is, I guess, getting their way with the victory over Trump, which, in my own personal opinion, and others can probably speak for that matter, has not successfully gained a victory over Trump earlier this month. They haven't won, folks. It's still in the courts. When you have an election voting scenario that is basically being in the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court, and lawyers of the legal team of Trump, are pushing this, that means it's not over, folks. When you have an election that has been brought into the Supreme Court, it's not over, folks. It's not over. It's not over in a long shot. And then having them using photos, and using a hashtag, DiaperDon, is a disgrace of every journalist, independent journalist, politician, everybody that's literally joining into this little movement here and trying to embarrass our president and not acknowledging that he's still the president. When you're not acknowledging that the president of the United States is still Donald J. Trump, folks, you are suffering from some type of disease. And I've said this disease, it's the Trump derangement syndrome. They're still suffering from it, folks. They are. And it's just outrage. It's outraged. I mean, I'm looking at these pictures, and they're making a mockery of the president. The one picture showing the president at the Rosalind desk, the miniature Rosalind desk in the White House, with a bib, folks, literally a damn bib around his neck, writing, "I'm the boss." Because if a president has to go to that angle, that scenario, to the press, the Associated Press, and other journalists in that room in the White House, and say, you know what? I'm still the president, and you will not speak to me in that tone. Folks, they are not even respecting this man. They haven't respected this man since he's taken office. It's a damn disgrace, and it's an embarrassment to our country that we have a president that has to go through this harassment. It really is. I'm telling you. With that being said, folks, I'm going to take a quick little commercial break, and we'll be right back after these words. Don't go anywhere. All right, folks, back to the show. I hope everybody, before I go more into the Trump scenario here, interviewing these radical, corrupted journalists and just taking on the Washington swamp. Hope everyone enjoyed their Thanksgiving. I surely did. I enjoyed my Thanksgiving. I had some family over, and I'm going to get into the Thanksgiving here, which is, and then also holidays too, as it's being portrayed. Thanksgiving is basically being attacked. Oh yeah, you got to see that. Oh boy, and how's it being attacked? It's being and Christmas. Oh boy, don't get me started with Christmas, folks. This year has been a disaster. It has been a disaster. With that being said, folks, I'm gonna play that more into later on to today's show. But with that being said, I want to talk more into the Trump scenario. First time he's actually speaking to the press. You know, this first time he's speaking to the press fully since the election. And, Trump basically being sidelined, sidelining himself, and his right so, not speaking to the press, dealing with the court hearings of the election, dealing with his legal team, America's mayor, so to speak, Rudy Giuliani, pressing this legal action against the illegal ballots of votes, which they were, folks. They were. I mean, a mail-in ballot system. I've said it before in my other podcast episodes. A mail-in ballot system. I mean, you can clearly see the fraud there. You can see the fraud in every angle. I mean, mail-in ballots. There's other countries even questioning mail-in ballots. They don't even use mail-in ballots. And in my own personal opinion, why does it take this country so damn long to bring in a new president or reelect the same president for another term? Why does it take so long? Why is our system the most powerful, strongest economy, strongest military, strongest everything in the entire world, a country such as a high level, as our country? Why does it take so long in this election system? Why? Oh, well, there could be a lot of reasons. I don't want to get into those reasons because it's going to drag out my show, and I don't want to drag out my show with just ridiculous crap. But I want to get more into this this story here with Trump, they're still, they are, folks, this media is still, just, what's the words? They're still like trying to sell this whole crap about how Trump is going to lock himself in the White House, and they're going to have top federal agents drag Trump out in January when that transition between Trump and Biden takes place, and this and that, and they think Trump isn't going to go out freely on his own free will. I mean, folks, this is crap. This is stupid. Why is the media getting so hysterical with this whole election? Why is the media literally making Trump the bad guy here? Folks, we are having recounts. We are having this go to high levels of the Supreme Court because you have votes, folks, that are fraud. You had dead people voting in this country. You had people doubling up their votes, voting as in some states, in some scenarios, as much as 5-7 times over. You had people, like I said, from other countries voting. You had people that lived in other states that weren't even supposed to vote in that state to begin with voting. Votes that had Trump on it that switched over to Biden. And I said that in the episode prior to this episode. Dominion. I mean, it's just, is no one seeing the voter fraud being exposed to her right in front of our eyes? Folks, it's being exposed right in front of your eyes. You don't even need to look at hear a sound clip. You don't even need to look at a video clip to understand the fraud. and then just the ignorance of some of this. It's just it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I said, this whole year has been a disaster. And then this story here, coming out of NBC, they do not acknowledge him as president anymore. It's just he or Trump. The headline says, when he leaves office, can Trump be trusted with national security secrets? Oh boy. I mean, these people are going to extreme measures to try to basically say Trump was an embarrassment as a president in the United States. I don't think he was. I thought he brought some good jobs, brought the economy to an historic high, had the unemployment at a historical low, helped out the black community in so many ways. You can clearly show that Trump was more for the black community than Obama was in 8 years of office. You want to fact check that? Go ahead. Go ahead and fact check it. You could tell me who did more for the black community, Trump or Obama. I'm telling you, folks. Now the far left corrupted media is now going to a measure here of when Trump leaves office, can ex-president, folks, he's not a president he's still the president of the United States until January 20th. Let me just say one thing before I go into this article here. Come January 20th, if the Supreme Court proves that Biden won fairly, in this election, then yes, then everybody should acknowledge that Trump lost, evenly and fairly. But if Trump, and he has a rightful so of pressing this into the Supreme Court. See, what the hell are they hiding? Why is the radical left so damn afraid of having the Trump administration and his legal team press this election to the Supreme Court? What are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? Are they afraid that the so-called Pelosi machine, her pick there, her guy, her Joe and Kamala is going to be exposed that they cheated in this election? That the Democrats cheated in this election and they used voter machine technology such as Dominion to falsify the vote for Biden? Are they afraid that the exposure, the real truth will be exposed on January 20th? Is state Supreme Courts, Pennsylvania, is that why all these states, folks, are literally denying all the accolations, all the statements written up by the Trump legal team, Giuliani and other lawyers? Is that why they're denying all these hearings? Because even the states, the states know that there was fraud. They know that there was criminal matters and criminal statements and clauses used into these elections. Folks, this was a rigged election in historic numbers. ex-presidents, folks, are entitled to classified briefings, okay? Some ex-intel officials think Trump shouldn't get access to any national secrets when he leaves office. Folks, these people think that Trump is going to expose all our national secrets. This is how crazy the left is becoming. They're not the same Democratic Party from the 60s and even before then. They are not. They are suffering so much of this Trump derangement syndrome. It's going so far that they've been blaming this president, even with COVID-19, saying he should have acted quicker. He did act. He closed our country down in March while you had crazy people, crazy radical Democrats such as Nancy Pelosi and San Francisco's Chinatown celebrating, saying, oh, the president is becoming prejudiced towards the Chinese and Asian communities. When he did know the threat of this virus. He knew the threat of this virus. But yet again, Pelosi and all the other Democrats were saying that Trump was overreacting. Well, I guess who's overreacting now, folks? Who's overreacting? Maybe they should have listened to Trump to begin with instead of blaming him. See, that's what they did, folks. When COVID hit our shores earlier this year, between January and February and March, okay, they criticized the president, saying he's overreacted by closing the country down to not only China, but European countries, for that matter, that had high counts, okay? If he didn't close the country down, folks, the COVID crisis in this country, the chaos, the mayhem, would have been a lot higher than it is now. Back to the scenario here. Okay. I want to read something here, okay? And this has a lot to do with what now they're claiming as president here. Trump is going to, they don't trust him with national secrets. When David Priest was a CIA officer, he traveled to Houston. He recalls to brief former President George H.W. Bush on a classified development in the Middle East. It was a part of a long tradition of former presidents being consulted about and granted access to some of the nation's secrets. Okay? And then I'll kind of skip some of the segment though. But basically, they argue soon to be former President Trump. Oh, no, now he's soon to be, right? Former, right? That they already think that Biden won this election and you know, he got it in the basket, so to speak, right? He won fair and square. You know, there was 80 million people that voted for this president, which that's unheard of, folks. You do the numbers, it's just this election is just very weary on a lot of different angles. It really is. And that's why we have this election going into the Supreme Court. Anyway, they argue soon to be former President Trump already poses a danger because of the secrets he currently possesses. And they say it would be foolish to trust him with more sensitive information. With Trump's real estate empire under financial pressure and his brand suffering, they worry he will see America's secrets as a profit center. What? Come again? Come again? I mean, didn't we have to hear this? Folks, first of all, this is not the same scenario about a president that has to go through crap like this. We've seen Nixon, right, being pressured with America's secrecy and nation's secrets, right? We've seen that through his presidency. Now they're doing the same roll call, so to speak, under the president, President Trump. This is not something that one could ever have imagined with other presidents. Seriously. But it's easy to imagine with this one. Old Jack Goldsmith. Oh, it's easy to imagine with this one. But not with other presidents. Oh, Trump is different, right? Because of his name, right? And then Jack Goldsmith. He's shown as a president that he doesn't take secret keeping terribly seriously. What? He's known to disrespect rules related onto national security. Oh, really? Oh, really? But he's so honorably respected by our United States military force. Yeah. I'm telling you, folks, this is a president that that's not in it for the money. He's not in it for the money. He even said in an interview back in 2015 that he's running because of former presidents such as Obama and Bush. He ran for presidency because of these two men. He's seen where our country was going from early 2000 and then on to the Obama administration. He's seen where it was going. He's seen our welfare system climb into historic highs. More people on the welfare system, such as food stamps and Section 8 housing, than ever before. It's an embarrassment, folks. An embarrassment. You had a president prior to Trump, Obama, encouraging people, saying, don't worry, the government will protect you and basically keep you safe and healthy. There's people that literally were on food stamps like it was a career choice. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea, but I can tell you right now, where we're going as a country, it's a very, very dark path, folks. A very, very dark path. I want to go more into that, but I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and oh boy, you got to hear what I have to say here about now certain Democratic leaders, okay, using COVID to attack American traditions. Your American traditions, folks, such as Thanksgiving and Christmas and other future American holidays, are under siege. With that being said, with more of that, we'll be right back.
Of your Spotify inbox. You know those frustrating times when you hear a great song, but you don't know who the artist is? Well, thanks to the good people at SoundHound, you can find out in seconds and then listen to the track on Spotify. Download the SoundHound app and you can whistle, hum, speak lyrics, whatever it takes for SoundHound to recognize the track. Then just tap play in Spotify to listen to your heart's content.
To stop what you're doing and listen.
We must tell you, you must cancel the normal Thanksgiving plans.
Nobody says the B word, come on.
Keeping yourself out of crowds. These new steps include personal behavioral changes that we all must commit to, as well as regulatory measures.
If I overstep my bounds, just tell me.
That will roll into a new stay-at-home advisory for Chicago that will go into effect at 6 a.m. this coming Monday, November 16th, and will be in effect for 30 days.
This house is a prison on planet bullshit.
It calls upon each of us to do the following: to stay at home unless you must go out for essential reasons.
We get to take our democracy back.
No visitors should be in your home unless they're essential workers.
Can I come over this afternoon and touch your face?
And I want to say these 4 things again. Stay home unless you have to go out for essential reasons. Do not have guests over.
It's a trap.
Cancel your traditional Thanksgiving plans.
Beetlejuice!
Be smart. I get it. I understand it. It's wrong. My advice on Thanksgiving? Don't be a turkey.
You just call me a turkey.
You don't want to be the turkey.
Turkey is a little over the line, my man.
You know what love is on Thanksgiving?
No, but I got a feeling I'm about to find out.
I love you so much, and I'm so thankful for you that I'm not going to see you.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
We've obtained this photo of Governor Gavin Newsom dining at the luxurious French Laundry restaurant in Napa the evening of November 6th.
I just happened to look over and realize, hey, is that Gavin Newsom? Who is that? And I did ask one of the waitresses, and she confirmed it was.
We spoke with a woman who happened to be at the restaurant the same night, and she snapped these photos. She asked us not to identify her. When the governor issued his apology on Monday, he described the dinner as outdoors.
It was in Napa, which was in the orange status, relatively loose compared to some other counties. It was to be an outdoor restaurant.
But the photo appears to show the dinner being mostly indoors, with sliding glass doors opened up for air. The woman we spoke with says at one point those doors were closed because of noise complaints about the group.
It got louder and louder, and so they had some sliding glass doors that they were able to close, so then it was just a closed off room, but you could still hear them. That's how loud they were.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
She says the scene was hypocritical.
It was a very large group of people, and shoulder to shoulder, something that he's always telling us not to do.
We're better than you, and we know it.
As soon as I sat down at the larger table, I realized it was a little larger group than I had anticipated. And I made a bad mistake. Instead of sitting down, I should have stood up and walked back, got in my car, and drove back to my house.
All right. I'll swing by for a minute. Allow them to envy me.
And the only reason you apologized, he got caught.
And so I want to apologize to you because I need to preach and practice, not just preach and not practice. And I've done my best to do that.
You tell me. I fucked up. It's a behavior that has to stop.
Yep. You just heard the a sound clip here I just plugged into the show. Everybody enjoy that sound clip. These are your liberal dictators of mayors and governors here, basically preaching the word about social distancing and wearing a mask and all the we have to close our restaurants down. We have to social distance from one another. If you're going to have Thanksgiving, only practice good social distancing with your immediate family to basically have your Thanksgiving festivities and celebrations. But don't invite anybody that's not your immediate family, such as friends and coworkers and neighborhood and neighbors and all this. But don't tell that to the liberal California Governor Newsom, and then your Chicago mayor, and then also your crazy Chris Cuomo of New York. No. See, these folks, it seems like, they're preaching the word, but yet again, we're finding video clips of them on YouTube and other social media platforms of them dining in other restaurants, shoulder to shoulder. And then what happens, folks? They get embarrassed because they get caught red-handed. They get caught red-handed by bystanders. Okay, little independent journalists. Okay, and the paparazzi filming them and taking pictures of these hypocrites of governors and mayors inside of inside the restaurants when they're the ones that are closing down the restaurants, making small businesses and 5-star restaurants go out of business. Yeah, this is the country we live in. This is also the country saying that you are not allowed to go to church on Sunday, but then again allow people such as Black Lives Matter and Antifa practice their amendments in open streets, protesting the word of whatever the hell they protest now. Yeah, using the entire message of people of white supremacy and this and that. But it's a bunch of nonsense. It really is. It's a bunch of hypocrisy and the it's garbage, folks. It's garbage. When will this ever end? We will never know. Will this country go into a civil war in 2021? I think we are in the midst of it. I think we are in the midst of another modern day civil war. But it's not going to be the same civil war where the North and the South fought for democracy, okay, for freedom, to end just the dictatorship between the states. Folks, we will see similarities in this next civil war. But this civil war will be a battle for freedom. It will be a battle for liberties. It will be a battle to end socialism for once in this country. Because to wear a mask and to socialize or social distance, okay, you can hear the hidden message in social distance. What they are really saying, folks, is socialism. That's the hidden message in social distance. They don't want you to socialize with one another. They don't want you to say hi to one another. Hell, if you shake somebody's hand now, you are criticized as a super spreader of COVID-19. This is where our country is going. You are not allowed to go into restaurants or supermarkets, food markets, without wearing a mask or a muzzle on your face. You are not allowed to go to parks and not able to socialize with your neighbors and other people in the community because you are then labeled as a super spreader, okay? You are not allowed to go on public transportation such as buses, trains, and planes without wearing a mask or what I say, a muzzle on your face. Folks, we are being muzzled in this country. We are being controlled by the radical left. And folks, this will not end. This will not end until we, the American people, will stand up for our liberties, stand up for our culture, and stand up against the radical democratic machine. With that being said, folks, thanks you for joining in to today's podcast, and we'll always see you on the next one. You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle podcast, an Anchor platform.